Hi, in this video I want to have a look at the classic blues tune Rollin and Tumblin. Now I'm sure that riff sounded pretty recognisable because it's out of one of the most famous blues tunes there is, Rollin and Tumblin. Now Rollin and Tumblin can be considered a blues standard, you know, one of the most famous and instantly recognisable pieces of blues music that's been covered and adapted by so many artists. The original piece of music is attributed to Hambone Willie Newbern, and he wrote it in 1929 and he titled it Roll and Tumble Blues. Since then, through its various adaptations, it just now has the name Rollin and Tumblin, and it has been covered by so many artists such as Cream, Muddy Waters and Canned Heat, to name but a few. So what I want to do is have a brief look at the structure of Rollin and Tumblin, and then I want to show you a version of it that I've written. Now there are a lot of different versions of Rollin and Tumblin out there, and a lot of them use slightly different structures, so it's hard to actually say this is a definitive structure of Rollin and Tumblin. So in this video I want to have a look at a version that's close to the Muddy Waters version, and that seems to be the most commonly used structure out there, and it's very similar to the really famous version by Cream too. Now in this version it's played on a guitar tuned to open G. I've got a previous video if you don't know how to tune your guitar to open G, and it uses the three chords G, C and D. And the song also uses a slide, but it isn't necessary, so if you're not comfortable playing with a slide, just omit it. It won't sound quite the same, but it'll still sound good. So what is this structure then? Well, on the surface it kind of sounds like a 12-bar blues structure, but it's not. But it is very similar to a 12-bar blues structure. So like I said, it uses three chords G, C and D. And the song can be split into basically three components. And the three components are played over the three different chords. So you'll have the main riff that's played over where the G chord is, like this. And that's played over the G chord. Now, where it differs from a 12-bar blues is, this riff is always played for 3 bars and then what you would consider half a bar. So you get 3 bars in 4/4 time of it, and then a 2/4 bar that bridges across into the chord change. So you'll play that riff 3 times, then you get a small 2/4 bar, then you get a chord change. Okay, so the next section's played over the C chord, and this lasts for 2 bars. Now the bit over the C chord would be where the singer was singing. So what you're playing is a sort of a loose melody that follows the singer, something like this. Like that, and that lasts for 2 bars. What happens is the main riff's played again, and again this lasts for 3 bars with this 2/4 bar at the end to bridge it. After this main riff's played, we'll once again play the C section again, pretty much identical to how it was played before. We'll once again then play the main riff again for 3 bars with this 2/4 bar at the end, bridging it. And then what we do is we move into the final section, section 3, which starts on a D chord and then goes to a C chord. So again, this section, this third section starting in D is 2 bars long. The first bar would be over a D chord, and then it would drop to a C chord. Again, very, very similar to what you would see in a 12-bar blues. Again, in this third section, the singer would be singing over it, and it's very similar insofar as it's just, you know, melody notes that roughly follow the singer. The only difference is that it's played on a lower string of the guitar, so it has a lower tone to it. So it's something like this. Like that. And like I said, this D to C section plays for 2 bars and then the whole song just repeats again. So that's the basic structure of the song. You have this, 3-bar riff, 2-bar bridge that repeats, then a section over the C chord, the repeat of the main section again, the C chord, the repeat of the main section again, and then the final D to C section at the very end. And this structure just keeps cycling round the whole song. Now, as I said, it's not hard to see a lot of similarities between this and a 12-bar blues. The chords that are used, the sequence and order of the chords. It's just that the structure's slightly different. So now what I want to do is have a playthrough of the song. So like I said, the version I'm looking at is very close to the Muddy Waters version. So what I'll do is I'll play through the intro to the song, play through the main section, and then play the outro. And like I said, it's pretty much the Muddy Waters version of the song. This is also very similar to the Cream version of the song. It's just the Muddy Waters version's a bit slower. But what I also want to do after the video is show you a couple of variations to the main riff. Now, like I said, there are so many versions of this song out there, you can't go through all of them. So the 2 variations to the main riff I want to show you, the first one is one that I've just done, which is a slightly rockier, heavier version of it with a bit more crunch to it. The second version I want to show you is very close to the version that Eric Clapton uses on his Unplugged album, which is also a very, very famous version of it. Now, I only want to do some variations on the main riff because that's the real meat and bone of the song. That's the part that you always recognise and hear, and it's the most repeated part within the song. Most versions will vary the other 2 sections over the C and D chord as well. But that's something you can have a look at because it only uses a handful of notes in both cases, so you can just alter this as you see fit. Right, so anyway, let's get going and I'll play through this version of Rollin and Tumblin.